Hi, this is Frank Linnehan, the Dean of LeBow College of Business. And I'm sitting here today with Dr. Daniel Korschun. Dan is an associate professor of marketing at the college and is focused a lot of his research on social responsibility. And we're here today to talk about his new book. So Dan, tell us a little bit about the book.
The book is about a CEO who gets fired. Nothing very unusual about that. But in this case, thousands of people, employees, customers, vendors, community leaders, rally behind him and actually protest in the street to bring him back.
And the book is titled We Are Market Basket, right? And Market Basket is a supermarket chain that's located primarily in the New England area. So how did you get involved in this?
It was a little bit by accident, actually. It lined up very well with my research. I mean, all of my research is on corporate responsibility and how it helps companies function better and perform better. In this particular case, I knew about it from having lived in the New England area for about 20 years. When the whole thing started to happen and take shape in July of 2014, I happened to be in the area visiting my in-laws, and I heard about a rally that was taking place that was expected to attract about 5,000 people. So I just took some time off of my vacation and showed up at the rally, and what I saw just amazed me.
Well, tell us about that a little bit.
It was immediately apparent that there was something very different and very important going on here. The people were coming from all walks of life, all levels in the company. So there were executives there were frontline employees, there were customers, vendors coming in, and all of them were looking for the same thing, was to bring this one man back. And to save this company from what they saw as an imminent takeover. The sentiment was so strong and so widespread that I just had to get, find out more about what was going on, what was driving this. And a big part of it turns out to be this idea of corporate responsibility. It's how they treat their employees, it's how they treat customers, how they treat their vendors, and it's these relationships that they're able to foster that has made this company thrive over the years.
And we know a lot of companies who talk like this but don't really act in the same way.
That's right, and there are also a lot of companies that talk a lot about it, and they have programs that are kind of separate from their business. This is a company that they don't have a ton of social responsibility programs in the typical sense, so they don't have big volunteering efforts and things like that. But what they do is on a daily basis, they help people put food on the table.
Right. So in thinking about this, after the book has now been published, what are the lessons that you would bring into the classroom based upon this endeavor?
A lot. When I've talked about this with my students, and I've presented it at Drexel, but also around the country and around the world. People are, first of all, they're amazed at how a group of people could pull this off.
Right.
But one of the big lessons is that the board's responsibility is really to be stewards of the corporation, not just the shareholders. So this is a case where some members of the board wanted to take the company in a different direction than than thousands, even really millions of stakeholders of this company.
Right.
They said no, and it reminds us all to take a look at the law. In the law is that in Massachusetts and in most states in the U.S. that shareholders, that the board members need to listen to the shareholders, but their ultimate responsibility is to the company.
Okay, so this is a new kind of activism, really.
It really is. Yes. It really is. And the reason why this played out in the way it did is because of a second lesson, I think, which is that if you treat people well, treat customers well, treat employees well, treat vendors well, something special can happen at companies. And this is an example of that.
Okay. Well, thanks, Dan. And the real question would be, if this happened to the dean, I wonder how many protests there would be to get the dean back. So thanks for all the work that you do.
A lot of CEOs are asking that question right now.
Yeah. Okay. Wonderful, Dan. Thanks again for being such a great advocate for the college, for all the work that you do. As I said, your students are just so happy when they see Dan Korschun as their professor. So thanks.
Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you.
Bye.